All right, so maybe LA saw, your best game or one of your best games the other night. I'm going to assume you think you're going to see that out of Los Angeles tonight. Just a thought on knowing that you're going to have to elevate the level of your play because they're going to be bringing it.
Absolutely. We know that they're a good hockey team, going to play with a lot of desperation. They feel that they can beat us. And for us, we need to match our level of play that we had in Game 5 as much as possible. I thought everybody was pulling in the right direction and contributing the way they should. And even though we played a heck of a game, it almost wasn't enough. So we expect a very strong push from LA, and we're going to have to elevate our game.
According to a couple of the public stats models, your team right now has expected goals for 5-on-5 of any team in the playoffs. Are you surprised then, based on that, the amount of possession time you've had in the offensive zone, that LA's had 50% more power plays in this series than you?
We have possessed the puck a lot, spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. As for the penalties, it doesn't matter. There's some certainties in life, death, taxes, and you being upset with the refereeing. Whether you're the coach, you're a fan, or a player, you're always upset. And throughout the series, there's always going to be missed calls, whether they're called against you or not called in your favor. Overall, I think the officiating's been doing a tremendous job. I am, what you talked about, the possession and the expected goals, I am a little surprised that we haven't had a power play advantage in any of these games. But, it's just, overall, I think the officiating's been good, but, you're always expecting more.
Kris, can you just talk about the impact that Evander Kane has had since he's returned to the lineup, and how much has his play allowed you to go with Leon and Connor on the top line?
I'm not sure if that dictated putting Evander on his own line or putting separate, or whether Leon and Connor are playing together. I don't think that has as much an effect with what we decided to do with our lines. I think it certainly helps our team the way Evander's playing, and it gives us a lot more options. And I am pleasantly surprised at how well he's played so quickly. I know Evander's a tremendous hockey player, and even the best players take a while to get going and play their best after 10 months off. Evander's done an exceptional job on finding his game and contributing with a couple key goals in this series, another assist, and a ton of physicality. So, it's nice that he's been bringing it. I'm not necessarily concerned or just saying that because of his play, Connor and Leon can play together. But it does help that now we've got a very strong line if we do separate those guys.
Darcy Kemper was on top of his game, you could say, in the last game. When you're playing against a goalie who's playing that well, is there anything that you specify or focus on for your team more so than maybe, if a goalie's not, I guess?
No, just simplify. And when a goalie's playing well, you often think, I got to make an extra pass. I got to have that shot that's a little more accurate. And you just have to go with your instincts. Get shots off quickly, get traffic, drive the net. All those little things, doing them repeatedly, gives you the best opportunity to score goals. And we don't want to get away with it and adding an extra pass or whatever it is. They just got to play.
Kris, Jake Walman only had one playoff game prior to this one in his career. He's come in and he's played a lot of minutes for you, coming off an injury. And I know it's not the most reliable stat all the time, but he leads the whole league in plus minus. His possession numbers are good. What have you seen specifically from Walman that has impressed you most in these 5 games?
How well he's been skating. whether that's on the offensive zone blue line, finding a lane to get a puck through. There was just several times in the last game where he had a puck in the corner and he's been able to use his legs to get that puck out of trouble rather than just rimming it around the boards or whatever it is. I think, and then also defensively, being able to close and being quick. And that all starts with him skating. I think he's a very smart hockey player that has got some offensive flair. I just think, overall, he's been playing really well. And again, we talk about those players coming back from injury, and you're not sure exactly what they're going to give you. But he's another guy that's been able to find his game very quickly.
And it was asked that, LA's expected it's the fourth game's the hardest one to win. You guys are 5-0 with this group, including 2-0 last year in games 5 and 6 when you have a chance to knock a team out. You do it the first time, gives you a little bit more rest. What did you see last year that you feel your team can draw on again tonight?
I think we just handle it as any other game. And I say any other game in the playoffs, where we don't get, too fired up, too complacent, too stressed if things aren't going well. It's a very mature group who knows what's important, and they go out there and do it. So, hopefully we have that same mentality tonight.
Kris, over here. The Kings have essentially played 5D and leaned heavily on 4 in this series. How much do you feel like your group has maybe worn them down or wore at them over the course of the 5 games?
That's difficult to answer just because of, we have days in between. So I can't say that, last game 5 we were a little bit faster, quicker, stronger, whatever it is, because they're worn down. Just sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes your team plays a much better game and another one doesn't find their game. So I'm not sure if it's because of attrition or us getting stronger or anything like that. So I think things change so much from game to game. So I don't think I can say it's last game was because of our depth or them feeling tired or anything like that. I don't know. I don't think I have the answer.
One more from me, Kris. Sorry, this is from our news department. They wanted me to ask you about fan support. I know you're busy, caught up in your job, but this is your second playoff run here with the Oilers. Can you appreciate how excited the city gets about the Oilers being in the playoff and how much they get behind this team?
I love it. Just you asked me that question, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about what's going on around town and the atmosphere around the rink, and even my drive to the rink and seeing all the Oilers signage up, whether it's on cars or on businesses or houses. And went for a walk our last game before game 4, and I saw several schools out in a path going on a nature walk, whatever, and I saw a bunch of students wearing and teachers wearing Oiler jerseys, and saw a bus driver wearing an Oiler jersey. It's just seeing the excitement around the city is tremendous. And then it just ramps up when you get into the building before the games. And I definitely appreciate it. I know the players have appreciated it. It's exciting. I think of all the highlights of our run last year, and everything that comes to my mind is just how much of the fans were involved. So we hope that we can have as many games as possible, because I certainly banking a lot of good memories from just that fan experience.
We know you move things around in game a fair amount, but it would seem that you found some combinations that you're comfortable starting with, comfortable going with. How much of a difference is it when you have those combos that seem to be working and reliable for a few games?
I hope to keep our lines the same as much as possible and not have the fluctuation. There'll always be fluctuation just because of whether it's an injury, somebody's not playing well, line matchups, we got to change something. But often when there's as much changing the lines as there is, it's usually because you're not playing well, things aren't going well, and you're searching for answers, and you're being almost desperate to change things. You know, I definitely liked what I saw from our game the other night in Game 5. We are going to start like that, and we'll see how long it'll last. But I think right now, you know, I'm optimistic. I think I found something that I like, but of course that can always change. You know, going into the playoffs, we were in a difficult situation because we had so many players coming in that hadn't just either played. You know, Trent Frederick played 7 minutes with us, and when he did play, we had many other guys out of the lineup: Evander Kane, Draisaitl, McDavid, among others. So to find how your team is going to play in that rhythm is difficult. So we've started to kind of build something, kind of get some chemistry with lines and guys. I'd like to keep it as much as possible, but I know that's being very optimistic, and things always change.
And just clarification on something you said earlier, because it might be the clip of the day. Did you mean to say that death, taxes, and Bob Stauffer being mad at the refs are the three?
That would probably be more accurate, yes.